a united, peaceful, and prosperous Liberia. And I am deeply thankful for the trust and support you have bestowed upon me and my administration during my tenure. As we navigate the complexity of governance, your partnership was instrumental in the development and implementation of policies and programs that aim to bring progress and development to our great nation. Reflecting on the accomplishment of these 6 years, let me tell you that I am proud of what we have achieved together. We have built roads, supported free wires and free tuition at high schools and public universities, stabilized the macroeconomic challenges we face in 2018, built hundreds of pro-poor housing units, and achieved on so many fronts that we are able to list here today. However, I acknowledge that there is always room for improvement, and perhaps more could have been done under different circumstances. Regrettably, some of the long-term projects we initiated did not reach completion during my tenure. I am hopeful that the incoming administration will carry the torch forward and bring these initiatives to fruition for the benefit of all Liberians. Fellow compatriots, rumors, and misinformation.
For that seminar,
when you are
when you got
when you elect a clown and you think that he will be a king, what he does is to convert the kingdom into a circus. This is what we must deal with, and this is what we must say. Who do we elect into our public offices? Because, as I've said before, when you allow hyenas to take care of goats, why should you be surprised when the goats are eaten? This is the same. And Africa is only going to realize our potential in all areas when, by dint of choice, we enable and allow our best men and women to serve in different areas. I've heard it being said about Lee Kuan Yew in Singapore. I've heard it being suggested about Mahathir Mohamad in Malaysia. I've heard it being said about Japan. I've heard it being said about other countries, but there was a conscious decision on the part of those individuals and the followership. We always talk about leaders, but we never talk about the followers. The followers must also style up. Africans on average are for some reason attracted to thieves. Africans are for some reason attracted to men and women who cannot serve her. And when they are not served, then they complain. When Africans are told, choose you now whom we shall release, Jesus of Nazareth or Barabbas, they say, release Barabbas. And when Barabbas behaves like Barabbas, they say, why are you not behaving like Christ? It cannot be done.
In May of 2001, signed a second of two executive orders, number 13213, Defense Exhibit D310, in which it was stated, and I quote, the government of Liberia's complicity in the RUF's illicit trade in diamonds and its other forms of support for the RUF are direct challenges to the United States foreign policy objectives in the region, as well as the rule-based international order that is critical to the peace and prosperity of the United States. Therefore, I find these actions by the government of Liberia contribute to the unusual and extraordinary threat to the foreign policy of the United States described in Executive Order 13194, with respect to which the President declared a national emergency. This executive order did not say the alleged complicity, it concluded the complicity. The conspiracy was born, all systems put into motion, and here I stand today. I never stood a chance. This is the broader contextual matrix that regrettably did not and still has not seen the light of day in these proceedings, despite the gallant efforts by the defense to unearth and reveal the contextual framework behind the charges against me. Now, with the two executive orders, the dogs were let out, so to speak. What followed was a dispatch of the attack pack led by Lieutenant Colonel David Crane, Defense Intelligence, 30 years, prosecutor. He, Crane, unlawfully unsealed the court's sealed indictment to his handlers, senior U.S. government officials at the U.S. Embassy in Freetown, and was never held to account. The rest of the operational team are Colonel Brandon Hollis, Defense Intelligence, CIA, U.S. Air Force, senior trial counsel, seem out of the local and regional dynamics that is West Africa. Second, tie any financial and political support to good governance in Liberia. Time does not permit, but the exhibits are present. Not even the Nigerian nation was spared from threats and intimidation, as explained by Femi Kayode, press secretary to President Obasanjo, the Nigerian head of state, who was with him in Washington when President George W. Bush promised, and I quote, to bring Nigeria to its knees if Taylor was not turned over to the special court. And what happened? Obasanjo buckled and capitulated. Now, this demonstrates the significant pressure that was brought to bear on President Obasanjo, irrespective of his personal and leadership obligations to the West African sub-region. And therein lies the dilemma for current African heads of state and government, but how to enter into binding commitments and obligations with the African pairs and remain steadfast, resolute, and unyielding in their fidelity to those agreements in the face of such unrelenting and punishing pressure from powerful Western leaders.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know y'all sleeping now. Y'all gotta wake up small, yeah? Okay, let's go. People sue us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They get lies, they get stitches. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that let us for our damages. Well, we tired with that speech they put in DNA, you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why does you lie? Why does you speak? Why does you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you. Now why we will tell you. But you screw us, you use us and they don't abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But at the question that we ask,
and at times the experience will say, just smile. When you smile, when you look deep in the forehead of those who build wrong perceptions about you, maintain your courage, your strength, your focus, your determination to continue pressing on, continue moving. It builds your strength. It increases your strength. And figuratively, it strengthens your strength. And so we are excited to be back here tonight. If the Liberia National Police cannot do anything about the traffic in Congo-Town, as the road works advance, trust me, it's going to get terrible. But the day for many of you or us who have late evening activities in the Congo-Town belt.
People lie to us. The government betray us. They get lies, they get
When these development activities are taking place, You know, it's important that the government, especially the police, redefine their traffic policies and engagements. To create convenience for the citizens, commuters. Whatever the case is, it's something we can talk about subsequently. Let me say a very, very pleasant good evening to all of you across the country. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to those of you in the diaspora, our friends, our fans, our followers, our critics, and even those of you who do not like the things we say and the way we say them. It's good to have all of you joining us tonight again for another edition of the show. This is Freedom Hard Talk. This is Freedom FM. This is 87.9. Nobody to hope on. Those you think may show semblance of their determination to lead you, will definitely betray you, will allow themselves to get overwhelmed with arrogance,
Your vision and your mission, your intention to let nation
start to trip.
You got nothing to show, nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But the question that we ask,
Something interesting happened today.
the people last. The government betray us.
And trust me, we are going to have a conversation, a very, very interesting conversation tonight. Everything will be centered around growth,
The government betray us.
development. We announced on Monday that we are shifting the conversation. Yes, we agree that Joe Barker is the president. It is perceived that he is the driver of our different policies that are supposed to shift development in our country,
With the promises that led us to allow us damage.
improve your living conditions.
Indeed, a night
But we have to also sincerely acknowledge
we saw a frustrated
that there are lieutenants appointed, confirmed, are our representatives in the legislature to aid the president in the discharge of his duties. If those aids seem not to be performing to our expectations, obviously it becomes our responsibilities to erect the checkpoints. So now we look into the Ministry of Health. A Liberian investigator is reporting that the Civil Service Agency has suspended protesting Phoebe hospital workers. For what? We will feature the article on our show tonight. But on the flip side, the Ministry of Health, according to the Liberian investigator, is opposing that decision from the CSA. Government wahala. When they were protesting under the George Weah administration, nobody was suspending them. Now they are protesting under the UP government. They are being suspended by the CSA.
You see the reason why we ask why the government betrayed us. They have enough of time.
They informed me that there was a possible demolition in the Johnsonville area. Our colleague here, Hagar Gonda, has released a video detailing demolition exercise that took place today. It's important we talk about demolition across the country for the third time on the show this week. My name is Austin. This show is proudly sponsored by Crime Stopper Liberia, and we are in partnership with Radio Entertainment. Sorry, can I say Radio Entertainment? With Win Liberia. Win Liberia is our financial partner, the Bogon Jide Group of Company. Very shortly, we'll take a break. We get a few messages from our partners. When we come back, we'll move into our discussions tonight. Stick and stay. Don't go away. We'll be right back. After these short moments with our partners.
My brother, God can bless anybody.
It's the Win Liberia Cash Giveaway on Freedom FM. Yes, the Win Liberia Cash Giveaway is here. For just 50 LD or 25 cents USD, you can win from 5K, 6K, 8K, and 10K LD. To play the Win Liberia Cash Giveaway, dial *255*1#. Again, dial *255*1#. The more you play, the better your chances. It's the Win Liberia Cash Giveaway on Freedom 87.9 FM.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to stop the sort of vigilante-style justice in this country, none of us will be safe. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we have seen in recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Sion, your community crime fighting partner. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Sion.
We want peace in Liberia. Peace in Monrovia. We want peace.
Are you seeking financial empowerment, dreaming of building your future? Then your solution is Bogon Jide Group of Companies. Bogon Jide, your trusted partner in microfinance, construction, and general services. We provide microfinance for many institutions like House of Representatives, the Liberian Senate, National Port Authority, Governors Commission, LRA, Gender Ministry, Corporate Development Authority, GAC, and other lines ministry and agency, with a percentage rate from 15% to 20%. At Bogon Jide, we understand your aspiration, your goals, and your dreams. That's why we offer tele-microfinance solutions designed to uplift individuals and communities alike. Whether you are an entrepreneur with a vision or a family aiming for a better tomorrow, our microfinance services pave the way to financial independence. But that's not all. Bogon Jide Group of Companies doesn't just stop at microfinance. Our expert construction team brings your architecture dreams to life. From residential to commercial projects, we craft spaces that inspire, innovate, and endure. And when it comes to general services, Bogon Jide is your one-stop destination. From facility management to logistics, we ensure seamless operation every step of the way. With our apartment rental and furnished apartment for long and short-term stay, you will enjoy the luxury of comfort. Join the thousands who have entrusted their dreams to Bogon Jide. Experience unmatched professionalism, dedication, and integrity. With Bogon Jide Group of Companies, your success is not just a goal, it's our mission. visit our Capitol Building office or find us in the Royal Garden Plaza on Crown Hill Broad Street or call today 0770-520-958 or 0777-017-603 or 086-622-599 or email Bokonjida Group of Companies at gmail.com. Bokonjida Group of Companies, microfinance, construction, general services, your partner in progress. New Day, do something.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's move on to those who are joining us tonight. Alaska Pay, thank you for joining us. From GSA Road, Matthew Nude from Babalu County, Bowie. Southern Lee is joining us tonight from Johnsonville. Timothy Filmo has joined us. Honorable J.D. Williams is following the show. Ambassador Joel Ina Cooper II is joining us tonight from Barnesville Estate. Aliyu Kamara has joined us. Felicia's Junior Bar is following the show. Yasa Sharif has joined us. Stephen Fala Jr. is following tonight from Chicken Soup Factory. J. Augustus Help is following the show tonight. Derek P. Jala has joined us. Emmanuel Bro is joining us tonight from Minnesota. If the USA Permanent Sedition Mercy has joined us as well. And Dubon Hill is following. Ralph Cooper from Colorado. Augustine Musa is joining us. Vilma McIntosh Clark has joined us tonight. Lindsay Gimpa has joined us. Samuel Lad Cooper from Cardwell. Anna Kekula is following the show tonight. Welcome to the show. Justin Dolo is joining us tonight as well on the show. It's good to have all of you following tonight. So we've been announcing since Monday that every Thursday we will pay you at least one person. We'll pay at least one person $25,000 on the last edition of the show for the week. And this is something we are committed to upholding. And so we will have to obviously engage. Okay. So today we witness an event. I had a meeting at the legislature today, and this morning, in fact. And at the legislature, there were many lawmakers seen wearing yellow. Some were wearing gold. Some were wearing yellow, but it was a mixture of those wearing yellow and gold. And so they say they were dressed to celebrate and welcome the coming of yellow machines in the country. And there are people who we thought were serious. We saw them also in that unserious quarter. Samuel Lakuba, thank you. There were people who we thought were really, really, really serious, and we saw them in that unserious quarter. Yellow for clowns. And we saw them in a yellow color. But again, that's the beauty of our democracy. Those who we saw wearing yellow were exercising their democratic rights, and they are entitled to. They said they are going to welcome the coming of the yellow machines, and we have spoken enough about the complexities associated with the purchasing and shipping and maintenance and management of the yellow machines. We don't need the UP folks to listen to us because they will not listen. And the only reason why they will not listen is because they think that the Liberians that voted in 2005, or the Liberian mentality that went to the ballot box in 2005, 2011, are the same mentalities that are going to the ballot box in 2029. So they went one step, two steps, and then they jump over the third step, and then they are considering the fourth step to make a determination for the fifth step. That's the strategy that the folks are using. And I was shocked today when I saw lawmakers abandoning session, to go and receive something that is part of their responsibilities. Your responsibility as elected officials, part of that responsibility is to ensure that our roads are good. Part of your responsibilities is to ensure that you bring in equipment that will get our roads fixed. Part of your responsibility is to question the processes, including the procurement processes and the public financial management procedures that are required to procure goods and services to aid the operations of the government. And so when a procedure is breached, the law does not look at the intent. The law looks at the action. The action is a violation is committed. For the folks we sent to represent us at the legislature, to look at the intent. They care less about the violation. I thought today should mark a day of confirmation of fraud. Let's face this. This is what our lawmakers are supposed to be investigating today. Our lawmakers are supposed to be investigating fraud today. They were supposed to be investigating fraud. Today, the Minister of Public Works was supposed to be appearing before the legislature. They were supposed to be investigating a fraudulent transaction. And initially, they could not have investigated because there was no evidence of proof. Just by the coming in, we're not looking at the going into China by the vice president. We're not looking at the pronouncement by the president to name a committee headed by the vice president to go into China to review and do assessment and all of that to bring in 285 yellow machines. Those were all indications that validated the fraud that was committed by Mamaka Belete. By a government that wants to fight corruption, the fact that Jerry went into China, the fact that Joe Barker appointed Jerry to go into China, the fact that Jerry accepted the appointment and went into China and review, as instructed by the president, to review and restructure the entire machine and begin new negotiations to consider cost or low cost. The fact that the PPCC is on record for saying they were not in the know and they are still not in the know of any procurement processes that was that was approved by them. A litany of violations, sequence of events that led or resulted to multiple violations. From the PFM law to the procurement laws, everything was violated. It was on the basis of those violations and missteps, financial missteps, that the president appointed the vice president to do an entire overhaul, which is administratively, reasonable. But while Jerry was going to Korea or China and negotiating or renegotiate, it can't be renegotiating because we didn't negotiate with them before. Negotiating the coming in of the yellow machines, a new fleet of them, Mamaka was supposed to be under an LACC investigation. Because machines were bought or machines were purchased, brought into Liberia under the Mamaka's arrangement that did not meet in the PBCC process and satisfy our PFM law. But the folks in the UP said they are fighting corruption. They say they're fighting corruption. And the same people who say they are fighting corruption, they say all of us in the country should negate, ignore, disregard the involvement or the process or the Mamaka Benedict's arrangement. Mama, you just leave Mamaka, man. You leave for arrangement. Let's focus on the new arrangement. No. The fight against corruption is not selective. It should not be selective. And when it is selective, and when the selectiveness is under the protection of the president, then it becomes an issue for us to talk about. What happened to the Mamaka Benete enrichment? Guns. Russian-made weapons were brought into the country under that Mamaka Benete's enrichment. And offloaded in the barracks. At EBK. Not EBK, but they play under the opposite the ATS. What happened to that enrichment? And so you think we just supposed to sit down and just be satisfied? Why are they bringing the yellow machines and carrying them to the military barracks? Because they are offloading other equipment, other military equipment too. That's why they're carrying them to the military barracks. The folks are aware. They're aware. Braga is doing good. He's developing the country. Everybody is going to bear without hunger. The roads are good. We have access to safe drinking water. We have access to stable and uninterrupted electricity and affordable electricity. The criminal rate has reduced in the country. Kafan says we are running an 18-hour economy. So why is Braga procuring guns? That's the question. Who are you going to fight? Who are you going to war with? The roads are good. Things are okay. Why are you procuring guns? The United Nations is not giving you guns. The US is not giving you guns. They're not giving you military supplies anymore because you're not going to war. Why is the government procuring guns? Since she's doing well, citizens are fine, they're okay, they're satisfied, all is well. Liberians, they say, Liberians are excited, Liberians are jubilating. Why are you procuring guns? This is the question that they should be asking. I'm sorry. Some of you think we are interested in seeing people in yellow or gold. We look beyond. We know beyond. When we sit here and tell you that Mamaka is a nasty character, you didn't say it because we want to say it. There are scores of transactions in this country, taking place in the country, that Joe Bogart does not know about, and he will never know about them. I say this to you. There are scores of transactions taking place in this country that Bogart does not know about, and he will never know about them. So you have to care to, Bogart did, Bogart. No. We know the people or the individuals that are involved. When you have a puppet president, people can play anything around that puppet and implement anything around that puppet, and nothing will happen because the puppet is not in the know. Because the puppet is not in the know. This is the case with our country. We have a puppet president. The puppet is not in the know. So the rebels, his mujahideens, are planning different insurgent activities around him to destabilize our country. Yeah, some of you think it's all about yellow machines. Who cares about yellow machines? Nima County get over 22 yellow machines in our country right now. They all broken down. Call the buyers and ask them over 22 yellow machines did not go into their county. They will tell you, the buyers, some of them will call tonight and tell you, oh yeah, we can remember that 22 yellow machines came in our county. I will buy those machines from our county development fund and our corporate social responsibility fund from AML. Ask the buyers. Jerry Kuhn is the vice president. Ask him, where are the 22 yellow machines that were purchased by our county? Just show one. When Jerry show you one tomorrow, I'll announce my support for Unity Party or for his presidency. Just ask Jerry. Say, Jerry, I remember when you were a lawmaker, when you were a representative, Nima County purchased at least 22 machines. What I personally checked in Ganta when they were taken to Ganta, 22. Some say they were 24. Some say they were 26 and all of that. But I know that I personally stood on the street of Ganta and checked 22. And I was there, not alone, with other journalists from Monrovia. Where are those 22 machines? Jerry Kuhn was there. He was representative. And the machines passed through his district. The machines were paraded through his district. Y'all call him and ask him, where are the 22 yellow machines that Nima County procured, that they bought, they purchased? They are all languishing in the bushes. They are all broken down. And then the buyers are listening tonight. They know exactly what we're talking about. 22 yellow machines could have opened all of the roads in Nima. So the issue about farm to market road could not or should not be an issue for Nima at this point. If it was just about bringing in yellow machines, the issue about road accessibility should not be an issue for NEMA at this point. If it was just about bringing in yellow machines, because NEMA brought in 22 pieces that are checked, and there are Nigerians who will call on the show tonight to confirm and say, yes, Austin, that's true. Probably the number, the amount may be higher, but I know the amount cannot be lower than 22. That one I can also beat my chest and say the amount of yellow machines that were brought into this country by NEMA County cannot be less than 22. They brought in the machines. What did they do with it? All the machines broke down due to poor management and lack of maintenance. The county did not have money, or they didn't have the willingness to spend the kind of money that were required to maintain those machines. They all broke down. The UP government will increase their budget to 1.2 billion and still complain that the money is not enough to fund public sector development project. And I see people running around wearing yellow, passing all around, and all of that. We'll use those pictures tomorrow to bully all of you. And I'm saying that. We will use those yellow pictures of all of you to bully you tomorrow, because those machines will break down and the government will have no money to maintain those machines. Those machines are not on the priority list of the government. They only brought those machines in because they want to exact you in the public. They have no management policy. They have no management strategy. Even the 4 million that Brandon Samuka says he needs, it is just a request. The government does not have that money to even allot to the machines management committee. They don't have the money. Now they're running all around, checking in all the entities' budgets or allocations to see where they can take 200K, 300K to at least start the management process, start the organization process. They need office space. They need to hire employees. They need to find salary for those employees and contractors. That the kind of money they're looking for now. So some of the government entities might get affected because they're going to take money from those entities and they're going to recast the budget. That's why Joe Burger announced that he will submit a recast budget to the legislature between March and up to May. That's the reason. They don't even have the money. They going to take money from different places. I seen 1.2 billion. If they give you 800,000 before, maybe they're going to take 100 or 200,000 for you. If they give you 3 million before, probably they're going to take 500,000 for you. Cut, and can realign the budget. Don't shift lines in the budget to accommodate his kissy brother, his kissy son, in fact. It's everything is just okay. And like I said to you, hey, some of you will be, oh, why are you not on the radio today? Why are you not on the radio today? I will come here to do the show because of those of you who are committed and who believe in what we do and say. But some of you do not even deserve our voice. You think it's all about coming here? Oh, Joe Bagao. Oh, Joe Bagao. Oh, yeah, Joe, we are. Oh, no. This is Austin Kawa. This is his star. It will not be all Joe, we are all Joe Baga, or Joe Baga, all Joe. No. The society, the voting population is still struggling to advance beyond illiteracy. The voting population is still struggling to get to that literate level that they will be able to understand sense, reason in the things we say. So shouting a man course will not give you that message. That wisdom, that analysis, that reasoning will position you to understand that Delon is a critical mess that you voted for out of anger. To make you to understand Jeremiah should be nowhere near our gavel as speaker. To make you to understand that Baka was a disaster and still a disaster for our country. This is a message you have to. So when I say Baka is a disaster for our country or to our country, then I have to break it down. Tell you why it's a disaster. Your ability or your capacity to understand that message is what we're here to do. Not to shout above your head or stretch our veins in our hands. We're not here to make movie. We're here to communicate, to educate, to caution you, to sensitize you. We have to put that mind, that sense of reasoning up to that level that tomorrow when you see Joe Baka anywhere, you boo him. That when you see Delon anywhere, you are chasing a wheelbarrow. Because those are the people who place you in the position to believe that Baka was an angel from heaven sent by God to rescue you. Messaging is key. Is key in radio communication. Messaging is key. And you have to listen to catch it and share it. In other advanced countries, people pay money to enter to listen to series, different series of enlightenment, different speakers. They go to educate voters how to vote, what to vote for, why should you vote for this thing or this person. In the advanced society, people pay money to enter, to listen to enlightenment, not to listen to somebody shouting all around the place. Because selecting good leaders and making decisive decisions and sticking to making your chores and sticking to that chores and protecting that chores and standing by that chores, it requires a mind that is enlightened, that can understand, that can reason. Because most of you refuse to understand and reason. That's why you have Mena Delon today is sitting in the Senate as chair on foreign relations. Yeah. And if we don't adjust and look and stick to a platform that will caution us and sensitize our minds, we could just make the same mistake in 2029 and start blaming lawmakers when we voted for them. Take UP policies, put them on side. Take CDC policies, place them on the side. The remaining Liberians are more than us. I can say that for free. The people who call themselves partisans, the seditions and unity policy or UPist, they are less than our population. They are less than our population. So the population that is in the middle, that population that number that is seated in the middle is the number that decides who becomes the next president of our country. That number is also a victim, probably the biggest victim. Because those who support George Weah, the citizens are complacent and satisfied with George Weah. The UPs are complacent and satisfied with George Weah. They don't see themselves, citizens don't see themselves as victims for supporting George Weah. UPs don't see themselves as victims for supporting Joe Baka. The real people who see themselves as victims for supporting as victims for not winning election are the ones in the middle. They didn't win. The ones who sat on the fence and say, I'm not voting for anybody. The ones, yeah, those are the people. You see lawmakers abandoning their offices. How irresponsible that looks. How irresponsible that looks. I wonder, at times, I wonder whether these people have wives, decent wives, who can checkmate their activities, who can question their decision when they go home. Well, if you're wearing yellow, you go to work, you come out, you join a car, you say you go escort yellow machine to do the work of the executive. I wonder whether they have wives or decent girlfriends or spouses home. I can analyze. Critically analyze and say, hey babe, must you get involved? Is this your role? Is this your responsibility? Don't you think this is unnecessary? Don't you think you support Mr. Bwaga, the president, without doing this, without going at this level? Our leaders do not have wives that are conscious-minded people to look in the faces of those lawmakers and say, no, honey, you can support the president. You're supporting the president. But this is not your role. You can't wear a coat and get in your car or get in convoy to go escort yellow machines. That is the function of the executive. Leave the executive to do away. Your role here is to now start using your oversight to ensure that what the executive announced that they were going to bring in the country, that these are the machines and whether they meet the standards based on what they announced they were going to bring. How do you exercise oversight when you wear yellow to go and receive the machines and escort the machines? This is the message. These are the sensitization messages that girlfriends, spouses, or wives and husbands to these lawmakers are supposed to be pushing through their brains. I remember after the election, my wife told me, Austin, elections are over. So we have to focus on governance now. Everybody knows Mr. Bwaga, everybody knows. I've never said this to you before. But she said, Austin, elections are over. What has Mr. Bwaga? One day I went home from the show and she asked, I saw I got home. I was undressing and she said, Austin. And when she called me Austin, I know she can't be critical now. Anytime she says to me, Austin, I know I can take my time to answer because I know she wants to be critical. Yeah, I know that ain't no romance, Benny. Critical thing now. So he said, Austin, I want to ask you a few questions. I didn't respond. She said, boss man, I'm talking to you. I said, I'm listening. Then she asked me, she said, Austin, can you point to one thing that Mr. Bwaga or the UP government has done on her own? See, this is the UP agenda and this is the UP campaign manifesto, and she has implemented or she has started implementing this for her campaign based on what she promised. Then I said, no. Then she said, this should be the conversation moving forward. Yes. She said, Austin, this should be the conversation moving forward. We want to know what the UP government has done based on what they promised. Unity Partisans, citizens, non-UP Partisans, everybody, the entire citizenry is interested in knowing what the UP government has done based on what she promised. If you who are supporting the opposition side and those who are supporting the ruling party cannot tell us what the government has done, tell me it's meaningless of us listening to radio. So we want to know what the government promised and what they have not done. You can remind them, you can just start them on the basis of not fulfilling the promises. We're not interested in Bwaga age. We're not interested in which church he comes from. We're interested in what he is doing. Whether he's doing bad or doing good, That's why we're interested. We want to know that whether he's doing bad or doing good. We want to know the bad and good he's doing. When I want to know the good he's doing, I will go to, so she called the radio station, I will not call. She said, when I want to know the good thing he's doing, I will go to this station. If I want to know he's underperforming, I will come here. And she said, if you take your microphone anywhere, all Liberians will tell you, this is the conversation that we are interested in. Can we apply that to the wives and girlfriends of our lawmakers and boyfriends of our and husbands of our lawmakers? How did you feel this morning when you saw your wife or when you saw your wives or your husbands or boyfriends or girlfriends dressing in yellow as lawmakers, dressing in yellow to go and receive yellow machine from the post when the executives are the ones, when the executive members, the executive officials are the ones who are supposed to be doing that? How do you checkmate yourself? Because Rachel Kufini wearing yellow, Thomas Farafini wearing yellow. So if the machines, if the machines are substandard, if the procurement process was breached, if the PFM law was breached or not respected, how does the legislature checkmate or question the executive when they themselves they have already worn yellow to go and escort those yellow machines? How do you exercise your check and balance authority given you? How do you? You lacked the moral rectitude. You lack the moral high ground for the rest of your life to checkmate anything that has to do with the upper world, like the procurement, the shipment, or the maintenance or management of these yellow machines. You lack every authority. You lack every moral now to exercise oversight over the maintenance of these yellow machines or the management of these yellow machines. So you've taken your side already. That's how low-minded our lawmakers, our current lawmakers are. Well, they're wearing gold. Mubarak, members of the executives, I will not have any problem with public works minister or presidential appointees wearing gold to go receive the yellow machines. They are presidential, they are political appointees. Majority of them are members of the Unity Party or the UP Alliance. Members of the executives who will gold, kudos to you. I don't have issue with you. I don't have any issue with you guys. One issue I don't have with members of the executives, those who were appointed by the president, I do not have any issue with them wearing their gold to go and receive the yellow machines because they are the implementers. They are the implementers. So they told you they were bringing machines, they have implemented. And when they implement, they are supposed to celebrate. So I do not have problems with members of the executive celebrating the implementation of a commitment they made to us. But the lawmakers that were elected for check and balance to exercise oversight over the executive, to ensure that implementations are well guarded and are well carried out in the confines of the law. To see them wearing gold to go and escort yellow machine, that should be left with the executive. That should be an executive function. When members of the executives go to identify the president, your responsibility you play was to have made allotment or allocation and subsequent allotment to procure the machines. That was your role, lawmakers. The budget came to you. You saw how much was in the budget to procure yellow machines. I'm sure during the budget hearing, you call sector ministries, they explain to you the quality of the machines, where they are taking it from, and all of the entire procurement process, everything they explain that to you. When the machines arrive, you're supposed to request the delivery note, and compare to what they told you, and compare to what the procurement document that they show you, if you even ask for it, and see whether it's now what you order versus what you get. That's part of your oversight. You put yourselves in yellow clothes, yellow cloth, to go stay in free pool, to be taking picture of ship and yellow machine ship, when you're supposed to be sitting in Capitol Building debating laws, treaties, policies. Zimbabwe is telling America, say, we cannot accept your 320 plus million US dollars that you want to give us in aid, because if you give us that money because of their condition, because of the conditionalities attached to your aid. They say if we agreed, you will have access to sensitive or confidential health or bio data, if there are bio data of our citizens, of our population. They say that is an assault to their sovereignty. They rejected $320 plus million in aid, especially to the health sector. You know, Zimbabwe is one of the highest beneficiaries of U.S. aid for HIV and AIDS medications. But they still rejected that. Countries are making tough decisions. And our lawmakers are here wearing yellow clothes to go receive yellow machines. Lawmakers, I'm disappointed in all of you. As always, we are aware that nothing good will come out of the legislature. But at times, be a man. Native can say, be a man. Be a man. Serious things are happening in the country. Citizens' homes are being destroyed, or they call it demolished, under the authority of the Ministry of Public Works. I listened to my good friend Ryan Berete the other day from the Public Works Ministry, who said he has a list of 21 communities scheduled for demolition, where demolitions are scheduled in 21 communities. He made reference to Johnsonville. Today, there was a demolition in Johnsonville. Why are they using to demolish your properties? Yellow machines. Why have they brought in the country? Yellow machines. So, what do you think those yellow machines are going to do? Demolish more properties. Demolish more properties. I see some of you celebrating yellow machines. And tomorrow, when the yellow machines come in your community to demolish your brother or ma, or auntie or grandma or great grandma or uncle property, then you get vexed. You start complaining. When you're celebrating the yellow machines today, don't celebrate the yellow machine. Wait and see what the yellow machine does. Do not celebrate yellow machines. Celebrate what the yellow machine does or what it achieves. That's what you should celebrate. That's what you should be celebrating. What they do with the yellow machine is what you should be celebrating. And then he said, the government said we are procuring 1 million worth of missiles or AK-47. Oh, our airfare will be strong. Our airfare coming. Oh, the police will be all around. The next day, you are a civil servant. You not take pay. Or you want protest for increasing salary. You go to your meeting and you're scared to say, yes, let's go protest for salary increase. Why? Because your man is telling you, your other man is telling you that the government just brought in 1 million worth of AK-47. When we go to protest, they will shoot. Then the guns you were celebrating now, still sour in your mouth. You live in fear now. After celebrating the coming in of AK-47, $1 million of AK-47, now you're scared to go protest or assemble. So before you celebrate government's announcement, wait for the impact. All of us should be celebrating impact, not pronouncement. Impact. Because if those yellow machines cannot impact your lives, cannot improve your living conditions, then the machines are meaningless. They are worthless to be celebrated. So wait and see what the government does with those machines, then you can celebrate. Suppose they use the machine to break your house down, or break your church or your mosque down. Then you, the Islamic brother, will start saying, oh, the government is coming down on Islam in our country. Then our Christian brothers will start saying, oh, the government does not respect Christianity. But those same voices and images were once seen and heard celebrating the coming in of yellow machines without knowing or considering the work those machines are going to do. And you think all is well. Let's just celebrate. Now, this government is in a terrible moment. And if some of you are not careful with the way you support it, it's going to be disastrous for you, your future, and your children's future. The government are playing for the yellow machine. They got mind, imagination, expectation of how much they think. Ask and say, present your financial plan. Let's see. You say you need 4 million. Why do you need 4 million? How much are you going to spend on maintenance for trucks? What is your calculation of the last spend of a truck tire? Why are you making the projection after? I mean, in 3 months, on a 3 month basis. The chains, either on the grader or whatsoever, or the compressor or the chaser. I mean, what's the cost of just one chain on the chaser, the ground chaser, the concrete chaser? I mean, how much for the chain? Brian Samuel says does not know how much for one chain for a concrete chaser. He doesn't know. That big machine, you see with the chain, you know, water. Eh? That chain. Brian Samuel does not know for one chain. But he already tell you, say he wants 4 million plus. How do you make projection like that? Actually, just a chalk tire. How much for one chalk tire? You hear do the chalks is the problem? What's the guarantee giving them? Or the warranty on the tires? Or all of that. Then you know how long it's going to take you to book. Then you know how long. Yeah, just check out to the office. Okay. You know, then you will know how long it's going to take you to procure tires for the trucks. Then you times that by the number of trucks you have. Where the tires will depreciate. But mind you, it varies depending on the location where you are going to use the trucks or use the concrete chaser or the forklift, the blades, the buckets. All of these, they can spoil, they can break. They come with cost. The cost of one of those things, they buy you one Camry, one Toyota Camry. They're not cheap. One Kissy man yesterday and say 4 million plus we need 1,000 workers. But we don't like to say some of these things because we said them before they brought in the machines. And they did not listen. So because of enlightening discussions, we don't like to delve into too much. And I don't want to say, oh, we hate the government. No. But when the government makes unrealistic decisions, unrealistic projections, we have to checkmate and render our opinion. So tomorrow, posterity will be able to judge us. And history will remember our opinions. And I can sit there tonight and tell you, trust me, 1 year from now, Those guys you see wearing yellow suits will use those yellow suits to bully them, to mock at them, because it's going to be a failure. The government has still doubt. Austin Mole Kawa from Dia Kreke Makante, I still doubt that this government is bringing in 285 yellow machines. Let me repeat. Austin Mole Kawa from Dia Kreke Makante, I still doubt that this government is bringing in 285 yellow machines. We'll do a national checking competition. We're going to check those machines one by one to 285. Because some of us, we know what we can make projection. And they say the government get the capacity, the financial capacity to maintain 285 yellow machines within the space of 3 years. She don't get it. The government doesn't have the financial capacity to maintain 285 yellow machines within the phase of 3 years. So before you celebrate, tomorrow you say we hate you. Today, we are repeating our analysis and our caution to you. Tomorrow, you will say we hate you. You bring 285 yellow machines in any kind of country, but not get rule. If you bring in machine, just bring in machine, we face the rules. Examine heavy duties alone, that's more cost. Just to examine heavy duties, that's more cost. All right. Just to examine heavy duty equipment, that's not joke. Ask those who are engaged in the construction. At the industrial level now, ask them to examine heavy duty equipment, that joke. The cost alone. See the pass and tell you, oh, I saw a post on one from somebody I've respected for a long over the years on social media. His IQ is high and all of that, and I still respect him. And I'm not too sure I'm going to stop respecting him anytime soon, especially because of his IQ. But people with high IQ can allow sometimes political sentiments and in political emotions to ruin the real sense of reasoning. So they will celebrate some things from the surface. That human being can make a mistake. But I read a post on a counselor today and talking about how the yellow machines, talking about a bread on the table. Putting bread on the table of people. How the yellow machines, they use the members of the chocolate union, to transport those chalks. I mean the yellow machine. But the chocolate union carry them to come where in carries bread. How much do they pay them? Has the government even paid them? They tell me the chocolate union, the CBC people, UP people, AAC people, they're in the chocolate union. Has the government even paid them? How much the government pay? It's a bread and butter issue. He's a lawyer, smart guy. But at times these people can allow their emotions to ruin that reason, the sense of reasoning, bury their ability to research. Just to take telephone and call one truck driver. They say, man, what's the arrangement of the government with you in the government? There are truck drivers that trust you, that have confidence in you. They will confide in you. My good friend and brother said, Megan to so something don't talk it. When your intentions are good, you have to match them with your deeds. That's what the Chewy Party says, deeds, not words. Because intentions can be, normal intentions are converted into words. So you have an intention to build the house. You're going, I want to build this 2-story building here for Freedom FM. You do an estimate, how much it cost? as the estimate is ongoing, I gotta make the pronouncement. I say, I'm John Oliver Khan, General Manager, Freedom FM. We've announced our willingness or determination to build a one-story building headquarters for Freedom FM. Our engineers are working behind the scene to determine the cost and all of that, and we will come back here 2-3 months from now to officially launch the project. We will be soliciting your support. Yeah? You are expressing your intention, or you've converted your intention into words. But your deeds now, how do you go about implementing those words? There are laid down principles and structures and procedures that you are supposed to follow, because, man, you already have other issues that about corruption and all that kind of thing to handle that you spoke of highly of. So, my man, Austin, my man, I believe in the Freedom. He's selling black here. My man, tomorrow bring 30,000 pieces of black. Supplying 30,000 pieces of blocks, man. How much? Okay, that's 2.5 million LD. Okay. My man, so I'll give 1.5 million now, then I'll pay the other 1 million in full installments beginning next month. Okay, no problem. Boom. He sent 1.5 million to me. Is that how you procure? You get that for any form of agreement, nothing. Your deeds. You doing it because Austin Kawanda your friend. Oliver Austin are your friend now. So you just buying black money the way you want to buy it. But there's a PPCC law or a PNN law that requires you to establish clearly how you are supposed to buy, even if you want to buy from your friend. Because don't forget, you are already prosecuting April William, the former manager for corruption. You are already prosecuting Kebesan, the former manager for corruption. And you are the current manager. Where? So how you want to go just buy from us in Day? Because why? You are the current manager. This is the current case with the UP people. The current case. He said, Cloud, we are bring the property here. We want the document for the property. We believe that you use our money. The next day, the second day, who is the wife of the vice president, says she needs 10 million to fund for operation. They tell you you're not funded. Why you not go for 10 million to go fund your operation? Now you find you want 10 million to go fund your operation. They see many arguments say you use your office influence to get money to do your projects. And we must prosecute you. Then the next day, the very second day, Jeremiah Kuwomona is requesting 10 million to fund. If she was not first day, would she be requesting 10 million to fund her activities? No. It means she's using her office to influence our financial system that will lure money into her or her operations. Should the next government prosecute her? The answer is yes, according to what the UP people are doing. Joseph Brother did not have money to eat. This to measure his foundation. Today, he's donating pickup or receiving donation of paper and other stuff to his foundation, and his foundation is donating valuables worth over $200,000. The men are living alone, and the JME Foundation was established ever since, but it could not afford to build a hand pump. Today, it is donating materials worth over $200,000. It is clear that he's using his office, his influence as president to solicit and donate. They are saying we must prosecute them tomorrow. Joe Parker now you have money to wear a $30,000 watch, to wear $5 watch. You are buying tickets, all the used watches, scrap them. He get paper that he's to supply. Today, Parker is wearing a watch cost $35,000. That's time his salary. His 2 years salary can reach 35,000 naira. He had been president for 2 years, and in February, so January, 2 months. That's in 2 months, in fact. That's in 2 years, 2 months. Because from inauguration to January and February, less than 2 years, 2 months. We are 2 years, 1 month, a few days. Yeah, he has been president for. He's wearing a watch that costs 35,000 naira. His 2 years salary can reach 35,000 naira. Where did he take the money from to buy a watch? Cost 35, and he get one. He has many. They tell you that somebody gifted him or gifted him. They tell you a former vice president and leave you alone. Why those people did not gift him? They say he used his office. And our code of conduct is clear that you shouldn't receive gift anything, any gift more than $500. You wearing watch 35,000, you got multiple pieces, Rolex. But I'm saying we should prosecute him tomorrow. The country will be sweet in 2029. 2029, this country will be sweet. Nobody making the country better. Nobody going to war. Nobody showing right. Nobody burning car in the country year 2029. None of us will support any violence. We will go to election and campaign on the issues. Because the country will be sweet. You know why? Because the issues that the UP campaign on in 2023 were all lies, and they will not use those issues. No UP propagandist, no UP PR person will use the issues that they used to campaign on or against the CVC in 2023. So they have to establish new issues because they are in power now. Those who they will refuse to prosecute, they will not use the issues in 2029. 16 billion, 25 billion, because the people ask, you are in power, why you didn't prosecute them if that's true? They said the 3 boys that got missing with Simosi and all of that. They use that as a campaign and say, they kill the children until they came for to put it in Today, the police people came out and say the report that was in the investigation that was done by Patrick Sulu's administration, they upheld the findings that there was no mysterious foul play, that there was no foul play in their death, sorry. CDC said there was no foul play. UP campaigner, there were foul plays and the boys were kidnapped, they were taken into custody, they were killed, blah, 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 blah. They told that kid for John Weir, to put it in John Weir. They campaign on that, they took the missing boys. When the UP came to power, the police reviewed the investigative report that Patrick Sulu's administration did. The UP police administration say they established the investigation corroborates CDC's administration's investigation that there was no foul play. So it means minus one again. They can't campaign on that one again. All the auditors that they said John Weir killed because those auditors were investigating George Weir. The UP government is in power 3 years running. Isn't that true? There was no foul play. In a gifty Lamartine, it said no foul play. They upheld the police investigation that there was no foul play. It means they can't campaign again on George Weir killing auditor. That one manos. They can't campaign on that one. So the only thing they get a campaign on now, George Weir can be playing football. You will not see your president, political leader in opposition. You are playing football with Ossie Kawane. On holiday, you will call Ossie Kawane, you go play football with them. The only thing they will be campaigning on. They will not tell you say George Weir will not bring chaos in the country because he was protesting. Weir is not protesting. They will not tell you Weir will not do destable laws or incite the people against the government that want to succeed because Weir is not talking. Yeah, he's not talking. So you now say, we are wanted to incite the people against the government that the reason we didn't succeed because we are not talking. So what will be the campaign message in 2029? What will be their justification in 2029? They promise you that the CTN and APM terminals, everything on the port, GTMS, they told you that those were bad deals, that they were going to change it. They came to power, they renew those agreements. Today, importers are now shifting their shipment to Gambia, Togo, particularly, and Sierra Leone. They're going to Sierra Leone to ship because it's too expensive. But Braga said he was going to change it. They told you that NPA was too packed. Where 8 persons supposed to be, you have 16 persons there. When we come to power, we're going to cut it down. What have they cut down? All the cubicles that were built at the NPA corporate headquarters, the new management, occupy everything. That's also office spaces. No waiting room again. No lobby at all. No lobby again. So offices. Braga call it down, he increase it. The government too packed unqualified people. Now, Queen Johnson is qualified. She's director at the port. You will learn the hard way. When some of us speak to you who've been around for years, who understand these people, you will believe that it is not about the people. Because if this thing was about the people, I will not be behind these microphones talking to you. I'll be in a different place. Because I can mean here, I can sit down here, I can lie to you, say I don't get friends in UP government. I can never do that one to you. Nobody told me to support George Weah. It's my decision to support George Weah. Nobody. That's my decision. Nobody told me. I know the whole CDC. I know nobody say, oh, I'm a brother, yo. No. I got nobody. I got friends and big brothers. Oh, that also godfather. You don't know. I got nobody in Liberia, also Liberia. That's it, my man. I'm supporting CDC, you must. Or I'm supporting George Weah, you must. And get that person. I made my own decision. So it's not about George Weah of CDC. It's not about Joe Braga or the UP. It's not about personal interest, because if it was about personal interest, even my colleagues here at Freedom FM know exactly what we know and who we know. They know who our friends are. So when tell somebody, say, manage your emotions, manage your anger, you have to listen. Manage your emotions, manage your anger. You have to listen. If you don't listen, trust me, you make wrong choices. You know how many persons supported Unity Party for the last 2 years? They've been eating dry rare. They still go on Popo Beach to go look for fish to go sell. They still go to dollar market, selling with CDC market people, and struggling to get somebody about 2-3 cup of red for them to go home. They still going to police interrogation or police bureaucracy at the different borders to bring in the pepper from Guinea. They still going Guinea to bring in cola. They still going Guinea to bring in Gambia. And then the CDC and ANC women are still going through the same struggles to pass through the borders to bring that Gambia and pepper and cola in Liberia. You think the government is giving them extra treatment? Go in the marketplaces and see whether there's a CDC table here and a UP table here. There's no CDC table on the left and UP table on the right. When UP people go to the market to buy, they don't ask who the UP people here. You don't ask them. The UP folks go to the supermarkets. The cashiers got 1, 2, 3 different cashiers. Do they go in the supermarket and start asking who the CDC person here, who the UP person here? I want buy for the UP person. the UP cashier in the supermarkets? When the wives of the UP husband, when the wives of the UP government officials go to the market, do they ask for UP market women to buy from them? No. Same way when the wives of the CDC of male officials were going to the markets, they were not asking what the CDC market women here for us to buy from. Campaign is a moment. Just for a moment. After campaign is about governance. Decisions can shift. Interest can shift. Loyalty can shift. Interest can get adjusted. People can adjust their loyalty to suit the current reality. That's politics. It's interest driven. A political scholar says to me, Austin, if you are consistent with your loyalty to a politician, then you are not a politician, you are a follower. You want me to repeat that? He said, when you are consistent in your loyalty to a politician, when you are consistent in your loyalty to a politician, then you are not a politician. You are a follower. Then I jokingly said to him, but smarter now, I said, but I'm consistently following a political leader that is not a politician. I said, George Weah is not a politician. So that's why I'm consistently following him and supporting him, because he's not a politician. So my loyalty to him remains consistent because he's not a politician. So who am I? Am I a follower? He laughed and I laughed and we move on. But actually, he was an instructor. He was a friend and a big brother. And we laugh and we move on. He said, Mama, I can't convince you about George Weah Benin. And as I would laugh and he left and I left. You know. So we need to be able to understand lines, draw lines, understand lines, whether you call it lines or demarcation. We need to be able to adjust, strategically adjust when the need be. When the need be, we need to adjust. But the lawmakers follow disgrace themselves today. They were looking at real puppets. They were wearing yellow, gold. That other fool from okay, I take it back. I take the fool back. Eh? That other idiot from River G. I don't know, Alex Poe or what. But he's saying, well, he won't Guinea fool like your t-shirt because he know where to get yellow or gold from. Take it, Guinea fool like your t-shirt. In way, he go in session with Guinea fool like your t-shirt because they won't be in a fast. You know me, I'm disappointed. I will not call him because he's a brother. I was saying text. The text I wanted to send today. Anytime I want to say that in my hands were can be heavy to send it. Because man, he's a brother now, so you have to be careful. He send text to your brother. So yeah, well, even though he would disagree, would disagree. Two things you do. You may let me, you call me, or cost me, or you send text and cost me, and something like oh. But I was still saying the text. Even if I had to say I'm disappointed in your ass, I was saying that text. He's a lawmaker, but he's my friend. Yeah, I saw him in yellow today. I saw him in yellow. Yeah, between me and you, I did not expect to have seen him wearing yellow. Amen. Now you can say, "Va people get biha, va men get biha." They let us say. That's the reason you always have problems with va men. The decent ones, the ones who know their capacity, their abilities, their capabilities, the ones who know their values. All of y'all, the Liberian getting, American getting, Brazilian getting, women in, Liberian women in, and some other, and all of Liberian men do. You will always have problems with Liberian farming in the country. They say we get big heart. We get big heart for a reason. You think if I am a CDC lawmaker, I can engage into bipartisan decision or approaches. It doesn't make me a UP person, but there are certain things that require bipartisan approach. I can adjust to accommodate my colleagues from the United Party. That is in plenary. If I am an independent lawmaker, am I willing to support the United Party or the UP's programs? But my support to the UP should have demarcation. Not for me to go wear dress a yellow baker and go say I'm going to escort a yellow machine. My support to the UP will be on ideology. And those ideologies will be restricted to my legislative environment. When the president needs my support, or the speaker needs my support, or the pro tem needs my support, or the deputy speaker needs my support, or the vice president needs my support, they will reach out to me directly or indirectly. If I review the document, I see the need to support that legislation or legislative instrument in the interest of the country that is not political or politically driven towards protecting the UP's interest, I will go for it. I don't have to wear yellow or green as an independent lawmaker. Why these guys are reducing themselves to zero? You think we are taking? I mean, you think Joe Braga taking you serious? Braga now knows that all of you are jokers, puppets. Even Braga is shocked that lawmakers will leave their session, a banner session, to go wear yellow and gold to go receive yellow machines. Do you know that there are some heads of entities today that did not even wear yellow? Do you know that there are some heads of entities today that did not even go down to escort yellow machines? They were busy doing serious work. They were busy doing serious work. The country is dirty, stink, poor, broke. We need policies that will drive us towards growth, towards development. We need policies that will push us, push our status, our integrity, our reputation towards our countries. I told you Zimbabwe, Kenya, are making decisions to pull out or withdraw from negotiations that will see them receiving more than 300 million each for health aid to their health sector. Phoebe hospital people here running away say they can go to the hospital. In Liberia, Liberian lawmakers say wearing yellow and gold jumpsuit to go escort yellow machines. How shameless and useless and careless and irresponsible you guys can choose to be. What do we want? Who are we? What are we? What do we want? How do we want to get what we want? Do we even have an agenda that we are committed to? Do we even have a system that we respect and we are operating within? A lawmaker called me this morning and said, "My man, I'm going down the building wearing yellow. Yeah, I mean, wearing yellow." And I respect him for one reason. There are a lot of issues. Where? But he said, "It better I stay to my house." I'm not going down there wearing, dressing neutral. He didn't put that one there now. I'm just adding it. I'm not going to go down there be a neutral. Then my man get problem with me. I'm also not going down there where I go. Then my party get problem with me. So I stay into my house. They may stay to your house. You stay home. But some of these lawmakers who making these decisions because of the constituents. Soon morning, 35 him won't be get out. You go to lawmaker, pay a school fee, pay a children's school fee, or your woman in the hospital, or your husband had accident, all the kind of thing. Then you say we should reduce the lawmaker salary to $5,000. They make it uno children, he get a wife, he get a man, or he pa, or he man and a pa. He has a prayer, his friends who campaign along with him, who are not in his office working. How does he key, or how does he or her cater to those people in the morning that they find him to his or her door? With accident cases, pregnancy cases, hospital thing, different tango thing. Where do you think he's going to get the money from? Obviously, he's going to look for money somewhere else. That's how they start receiving brand envelopes, because they have to cater to those things. I'm not justifying for them, but we too are straining those lawmakers to focus on getting money instead of making laws that will benefit us. And this is sad. I can entertain 5 calls and go home. 0776 104 104 0886 500 104. Again, 0776 104 104 0886 500 104. Let's take 5 calls and then we'll call 8 and Nadia. Take our weekend break to go home. Hello?
Hello? Yeah, this is the second guy call from Mama.
Okay, let's hear you.
Yeah, you know, this yellow machine that, you know, for level head, put around because it's my complicated that all may bring, you know, the attitude to wars. So it's too much that a lot of do and it doesn't, they are all stupid. As Liberia is no simple, the yellow machine, we don't even know what it's coming to for us. So the product yellow machine is country. But then we can have people can't stay the road. That's why they post for our money on the other for 5 years. I just doing things because they now call them on the program. That's crazy. So that's it. That's the old man that so with that thing that will manage the way in another time we see it as up.
Man, no, don't use that word. Hello? Cause, go ahead. Cause, what make it be your number? Who do your line get problem? What kind of who you be?
Oh, where you for us? Are you getting me?
Yes, you better now. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Well, I saw those lawmakers in yellow today. I was not surprised because of the fact that they have become self-serving. If those people were serving the people who elected them, they will be asking the questions that you posed from the early part of the show this evening.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of representation are these people making for us? That instead of check-making the executive, they are in sync with Uhud, they are in Kahut, they are in bed with the executive. So they are ability to counter their excesses as how you got to be eroded. It is all on us as electorate that when we are going to the polls to elect people, we should elect serious-minded people who have the country and people who are ready to serve. We find ourselves in a very difficult time. In this country, from all indication, we are heading down a slippery slope.
Thank you very much. We are heading down a slippery slope. Musa, go ahead.
Yeah, how you doing, man, my dear brother Austin?
We're doing fine.
Today was one of the days I really laugh, and I look at Liberia and I laugh. Imagine, Austin, lawmakers also be sitting at the Capitol building, thinking, strategizing, designing laws that will benefit our people. Amen. Now who had the bluffing? Imagine our lawmakers leaving their jobs. So, it has clearly spoken to the Liberian people that the legislatures has become a rubber stamp for the executive. You leave
the job you're supposed to do and go wear yellow to go see 15 machines. I mean 14, not even 15. 14. You see, the Liberian people needs to understand this. Look, George, we have brought in 27 pieces of yellow machines. Brand new one from Caterpillar. Nobody knew in Liberia a yellow machine was there.
Nimakante brought in 22 pieces. Everything in the bushes now.
Yes. And can you imagine the kind of machines that they brought? Excavator. Why are you bringing excavator? We need motor graders, bulldozers, and 966 for road building. You bring excavators.
This is even bureau. I'm not good. They won't go mad damo.
Look, hey man, the Liberian people. You see, you see what Prophet now go and thing? Look, sometimes when you pull too much, when you pull, you catching heart and so on, very low. Any small thing can look big to you. People who are announcing, people think that it is a very big achievement.
Yeah, that's big
and you will
achievement.
see people who said they went to the University of Liberia, who earned degree, will come and sit on Facebook, amen, and defend that rubbish that Liberians will be thinking about. When we got companies all over the country, you got B Mountain in Ketmount that you could negotiate with to make sure to maintain all the roads with their yellow machines in Ketmount. You got Mano Oil Palm that got yellow machines that you could negotiate with to maintain all the roads. You got Nimakante, you got Arsenal Metal. In Nima, you got it in Bom, you got it in Buchanan, I mean in Grand Bassa. That can maintain all the roads through government negotiation without buying one single machine. Eh? So I mean, it doesn't make no sense about our people. So it means that we don't even have leadership. Because if you have leadership skills, the very companies that are over there, these are some of the social corporate responsibility that they should be able to give to our people from the market road, that our people will benefit. Like the people in Bome and Ketmount from the Mano.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, we have to let you go. Next person, Ellis, go ahead. You laugh. Let's hear you quickly.
Kaba, thank you for having me. I'm joining from Nima District 7.
It's good you're calling from District 7. Can you share light on the 22 machines that Nima can procure before? Do you have any knowledge?
Kaba, to speak. And a part of Nima, if I ran out of machine, have broken drums. Most of them are back in there. There's no maintenance. And the worst thing that you know about that, I was done again. The group in military to take out a machine. Man, who dare help? Our former representative who failed District 7, Roger Doma, breaking to take over your machine, Kaba. You know, today, like my brother just said on the land, the poverty rate in this country, that's the advantage you need about using to keep playing on our people, Kaba. You brought in there 14 to 15 pieces of machine, and you are telling the Labranche people you brought 137, but you could not display it to the Labranche people. Through your generator, you invited at the grind to come in one by one to reach that 137. You have lawmakers and people voted them massively to go and represent it. The mission of someone that today, the way you go for A, they never pass the bill for the machine. President Walker walked by his side, went to Echo Bay according to him. He took money from there to go and jump and to bring machine. Yakaba. That machine, you were not planning to bring by Unity Party, Gaba. But what happened is a scene fate like every was garden. Because once upon a time, President Walker said to the laboratory, we had a friends who were willing to give you free 285 pieces of the yellow machine, Kaba.
Yeah.
But today, that gift cannot come. They are doing everything possible to bring 285 pieces of the machine. But they are being disgraced, Kaba.
Thank you. Let's leave it right there. Let's talk to Elmo. Elmo, go ahead. 30 seconds.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. No problem, thank you. You know, Austin, there are a whole lot of stories surrounding the one machine. Just the last time when the president was giving his national address where there were a lot of fraud in our speech, he said the most talk about 285 yellow machines are on the ship on their way to Liberia. But then when we checked, we saw one Tamba from Ministry of Public Works and another person in China displaying machine, according to him, 19 excavator, 19 bulldozer on the way to Liberia, making it 38. Then here, the publicity, 137. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Look, we told the people the issue about yellow machine. It doesn't bring any dividend to us, man. Come on. Hey, what is the issue? But the almost surprising thing, my brother, the lawmaker, the guy said they had declared yellow machine day, the 26th of January, February every year. The speaker, regime speaker. So because the guy referred to himself regime speaker, all you guys are falling behind him? All you guys are falling behind him? To wear yellow? You know what happened? You know what that has portrayed us today in the outside world? I wonder why when they say Liberia is one of the low-active countries. Yes, I think we are even trapped to zero today. You see, lawmaker, they honor some going to take a picture with machine. They were not able to even verify whether the information were brought in the country. Come on, man. Liberia, look, I let what KOK said. He said we'll run the campaign. We'll take the campaign is here. It's going to the other side. But we will not be big people to go vote this time. This time around. Because this, no. This is the reason I continue to say, Austin, the election is not for President Weah and not for CDC. It's for your liberation. If you don't fight to liberate yourself, 2029, if you think Austin will sit on the radio, if you think KOK will be on the radio, if you think AB will be on the radio, and left with you.
No, we'll be in the presidential campaign here. We're not going to campaign. Masisi, last day, go ahead. Let's hear you, General.
Thank you. How is the master?
I'm fine.
First, I'll start with the law. This fake name called the law. I will start. You know what? If for 40 was breaking up what the play get that flow rate. All of the analytical lorry for all we are all cost to where we get oil, you know what the bread way flat. You know what I will find the very sick. Are you telling us in the office that whatever they say us or whatever office in alley, they should break it right telling us in the law. But the proper money together, but the proper money together. 1 million going to the law to pay for water to wash campaign. And when you say back, anybody said it, what all alley that will be very place will break it down. I want to the law take it. And also you take it very much. They forget that to us. Then what face for a year, but before you say that somebody you say, oh, but maybe well, okay, that's my sister get to fall before we do my sister to VA. And then they tell me, well, what happened to my mother? But then go face for a year now, okay. I cannot do one no more. I just want to just say in the market. I don't know how you must say break down.
Nima,
they want to carry a break down. I told you, many people want to break down there. Can you imagine that? That's what they have said when they say criminal so-called that they out today.
Thank you.
No business as usual. So please continue to get these things for the woman see. So are you kidding me? You got people these things for the water and tell me see. Why they take it straight to us? We see you for a son now that blood, nothing people. And for me, even for 20, but what 50. I mean, that's what they go war and tell the someone machine. Just so disgrace for the love the body. That point in yellow, they got white flag, they got yellow flag, they got flag. So they straight to the all of them.
Thank you very much. You
see the reason why we ask why the government betray they have enough for time, but
oh yes, thank you to all of you for participating in the manner and form you did. We are taking our weekend's break. We shall be back next week by God's grace. But until then, I'm leaving you in the able hands of Wendell Nimra, the nation's terminator. My name is Austin Kawad. You have yourselves pleasant moments in your respective areas. Bye-bye.
The government betray us. They betray us. They betray us. I said,